So in the light of the possibility that private companies could start importing gasoline as early as this month, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited is winding down its crude oil exchange agreements with merchants and will instead pay cash for imported gasoline. This indicates that the NNPC is in the process of terminating its agreement to exchange crude with dealers. The state-owned oil business will no longer trade crude oil for refined petrol products. Instead, it will pay for imported gasoline with cash. So the Nigerian government has formally abolished petroleum equalization and the National Transport Allowance, according to the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. By Decree 9 of 1975, which was amended by Decree number 32 of 1989 and is now Chapter 352 of the Laws of the Federation, the PEF was established. Its principal purpose was to guarantee the constancy of petroleum products prices by compensating marketers for any losses they experience when transporting goods from depots to filling stations throughout Nigeria. The authority's chief executive, Engineer Farouk Ahmed, indicated that prices will be determined by supply and demand in a liberalized market. Our business analyst, Chika Mbonu, joins me now bright and early, Monday morning, to fly first with the IATA story. How do you fly? Good morning.
Okay, globally, morning, my brother. Globally, I mean, we remember 2020, 2022, 2021.
Yes.
When all the airlines were crying because all the aircrafts were grounded. And even one or two aircraft types, like the Airbus A380,
yes,
everybody thought it would be the funeral. You know, they were packed in some graveyards. A lot of them are coming back to full stream now. So not surprising, therefore, that a lot of airlines are pushing out big profits. But bring it home.
Yes.
Bring it home to
the block funds.
The block funds. But I mean, the first thing is to know that this is a running balance. It's not as if that, the amounts are not being remitted. And you need to go to the airport to see the most of the airlines have full load factors. Nigerians are travelers. They're travelers. And a lot of discounts or promotions that other airlines do in other routes,
yes,
they never do it in Nigeria. The airline prices in Nigeria are always the same thing throughout the whole year. There's no requirement for incentives.
Either for summer
or for low winter period. I mean, Nigerians just push there. So
no budget as well.
So as I said, it's because of the fact that this is a running balance. But the point is noted. It's not different from the complaints of manufacturers that are not getting enough foreign exchange for their raw materials.
Yeah.
And I believe the government is doing a lot to make sure that this is cleared. Because aviation, is always the wheel of business and
exactly
of the economy.
Interesting. So what do we do with these block funds? About $812 million.
$812 million. I mean, I believe that...
So if we are traveling so much and we're paying for... And virtually everybody pays for their tickets.
The other thing
where's the money?
The other thing I want to push out there is this... It speaks to the sad situation of the state of our own aviation. Because this is outward. Money Nigerians were remitting outwards.
Yes.
What of our own coming inwards? I mean, speak about the fact that how many airlines are doing international flights? And so this speaks to the state of aviation in Nigeria and the fact that something drastic has been done to the state of aviation in Nigeria to make sure that some of these routes, quality Nigerian airlines actually traverse them. And get Nigerians...
Nigeria.
And get Nigerians fair...
Okay, Nigeria Airlines.
I said Nigeria Airlines.
Make it broadly
I didn't call Nigeria Airlines. I said Nigeria
Airlines.
Nigeria Airlines.
That's understood.
Nigeria Airlines. Go on these routes to make sure that we also have reverse inflows.
Yes.
So that it can net off on a net off basis, at least as we're pushing out this $820 million. Something is coming in also to compensate. Not just going out, because apart from one or two other airlines in Nigeria and some of these routes, none. The massive routes to the west, either to London or to US, nobody's going there. Even Dubai now is blocked. So exactly. It is that, and I'm sure that the Central Bank of Nigeria, working with the government, is programming something to make sure that this is cleared.
Okay, so that will clear that up. So how do we clear up the whole issue around
petrol?
The NNPC decision to end the DSDP, something like that?
I've spoken so much about this, and I said because of the regulated fuel regime price we have in Nigeria, there's so many layers of structures that have been created to support that subsidy regime. And so you have this petroleum equalization fund, you have the direct purchase, and yes. so many. And in each of these layers is additional cost for the citizens of Nigeria. And so when we delay all this, we hope that Nigerian citizens get the
have you gotten to the bottom of unpacking these layers?
We have not gotten there yet. I mean, for our viewers, the direct purchase arose from the fact that at the time, the NNPC didn't have really the cash flow to be paying for the petrol imports. So literally, we're taking our crudes, giving to these guys. They'll say use the crudes to swap and bring us
petrol and diesel and all that.
Of course, we know that petroleum 60 million liters a day. Half of it goes to our neighbors who are now crying because of the fact that subsidy have been withdrawn from Nigeria. And so Nigerian citizens are not going to benefit.
So NNPC said we're going to pay cash. Yeah, you think NNPC have the cash to pay now?
I mean, I believe that,
or at least to pay cash for its own imports. Because of the fact that a lot of his cash so far has always been used to reversely to import fuel and sold at subsidized rates. If these rates are marked up to market, believe it will release more liquidity to them. And most importantly, is the angle of the Dangote refinery. If it starts production in June, July, August as predicted, and products start coming from there, why do we need to be importing fuel again to the levels that we've been importing so far? Interesting how the scrapping of the Petroleum Equalization Fund will affect all marketers' distribution of petrol products and all of that.
It becomes like MTN or Glo selling its services to every nook and cranny in the country. And in the desire to expand market, you can't just increase prices arbitrarily to the roof. You must moderate prices because you have the national coverage. And that's basically what it is. Nobody actually tells, you see the times that, I remember when MTN came to this country, they told us that they cannot do second billing, will take them 5 years to design. And that they don't have the equipment to do that. And the day Glo came from day one and started with second billing, the MTN that told us that we take how many years to do that, the game changed.
Even for all the others.
And then look at the kind of competition. If you open, how you know the sector is competitive, you open our paper this day, you see page 1 is a Glo advertisement, page 2, MTN, Airtel. Because everybody's pushing out.
The market is liberalized.
Yeah, liberalized. Everybody's pushing that out. I remember one time that we flew Nigeria Airways, those times when Nigeria Airways was the only airline. I mean, we entered Nigeria Airways struggling, and when we entered, the plane was half empty.
Or Nitel.
Or Nitel.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
Don't go there. Don't go to Nitel because you go home on a Friday, you got credit on your phone, and you come back on Monday, you gotta
Do you remember when we used to do international calls and go to
the switch headquarters there.
I used to live in First at that time. I go there. I used to talk to.
You had to come down to Marina.
I was doing my master's in US, and I had to come there by 12 midnight when it's morning in America. And then it's a Chika, but 12, and you just run. I mean, Nitel, I mean, those are things we gain.
No, let's forget those things. Let's talk about the National Transport Allowance and implications which is granted to all marketers right now. How would that work out?
The same thing also. The same thing.
As the equalization.
As the equalization. As I said, there were so many layers. And, in these layers, it's not for me to speak on the air now and talk about the things that were happening in those funds.
The more you pile up, the less you see.
Do you recall that when they said, Nigeria, if you don't have a filling station, it will not give you fuel. Suddenly, filling stations start springing up in the borders.
Yes.
That in the communities where you don't have more than 100 cars, you have giant filling stations. I mean, so much has been layered up to support the subsidy regime, and all of it is fraught with irregularities and ballooned costs for the Nigerian citizens.
I'm sure we haven't heard the last about this. We haven't. But this is for your good morning.
Thank
Monday.
you. I have a
Thank you so much. It's good to have you.